Here at home, Occupy protests are reported in more than 100 cities from coast to coast. From their home base in a downtown park, New York protesters marched uptown towards Times Square late this afternoon. At least 24 demonstrators were arrested at a Chase Bank branch along the way. In Orlando, Florida, nearly 1,500 people protested outside several local banks. In Washington, thousands of people attended a jobs rally at the base of the Washington Monument, where Reverend Al Sharpton condemned the U.S. Senate for blocking President Obama's jobs bill. From the monument, the demonstrators moved on to the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial, which is to be dedicated tomorrow. For some perspective on the economic backdrop to the protests, we're joined by financial specialist and author Jordan Goodman. Good evening, Jordan.
Great to be with you, Anthony.
Jordan, two things this week. One, first, the University of Michigan Confidence Survey showed that expectations hit the lowest level since 1980.
Right. At
the same time, we saw retail sales in September actually hit the highest level in 7 months.
That's right.
What's going on?
Well, consumers at the high end are doing pretty well. Tiffany's and Nordstrom's, their sales are doing quite well, and prices are up. So you should see retail sales up because people are paying more for food and gas and other kinds of things. But that expectations is the real key thing. People are losing income, and they're thinking things are getting worse, and the result is most people out there are cutting back every way they possibly can.
Meanwhile, we've seen foreclosures surge again in the third quarter. They were up 14%. Is the foreclosure crisis deepening?
Absolutely. The banks were holding off for a while, but now they're actually getting more aggressive in doing foreclosures that they had not been doing in the past. And that's causing the housing prices to come down. I'm hearing all the time from appraisers, they're seeing a home that was foreclosed on. It hurts the values in the entire neighborhood. So people, when they see values go down, they abandon their homes. They call it strategic default. It sounds nicer, but they're walking away from their homes in legendary numbers. There are currently about 6.5 million people in this country who are behind in their mortgages, so there's more foreclosures to come.
Every one of those is a potential foreclosure.
That's right.
Meanwhile, we're seeing the banks are actually paying to have properties destroyed in the city of Cleveland. Is this something we're going to see more of around the country?
Very much so. You've had these properties just kind of sitting there, deteriorating, being vandalized. The banks have to pay for upkeep. It's cheaper for them just to raise the thing. It doesn't look as bad. The neighborhoods actually like having these things cleared out. So what you're seeing in Cleveland, we saw in Detroit earlier, you're going to see lots of places around the country where homes are going to be raised. You'll have empty lots, but at least they won't be deteriorating.
All right, Jordan Goodman, thanks very much.
Thank you, Anthony.